haven't seen the clear Vistalite Tama kit in the past. Is this basically a road kit, or do you use it in other scenarios?
It is. It's a live kit, definitely. I wanted to. I never had a Vistalite kit, see-through kit, and I always wanted to try one out. And I went to see. Funny enough, we're in Vegas. I went to see the Blue Man Group, and the night I went to see them, the guy that actually made all the drums for them was there, and he makes the shells and Tama supply all the hardware. So it's a kind of, it's like a Tama badged drum kit. It's a bit like when you get an engine. You get what is it? A Porsche used to badge the Tag engine. I think, or Tag stamped the Porsche engine back in Formula 1 days. You get that happening a lot actually with engines. Somebody will build the engine, but somebody will actually badge it. It's made under license. It's kind of the same as this. He makes these shells under license. And it's actually called a Mirage kit. That's what Tama called it. I did record with it once, but I was extremely disappointed with it. The bass drums were phenomenal. Absolutely, they were great. And these, by the way, are standard retro 24 by 14s, just like they were in 1973. It's great. And they really respond. The front head responds very quickly. So it actually makes it sound bigger than a deeper bass drum. That's just the way the heads work. They recorded great. These don't record great. Mainly because of the lack of sustain and the lack of top end and bottom end. Just because of the construction of the shells, their sound tends to be reduced in bandwidth. Doesn't have a lot of attack, doesn't have a lot of bottom end. But what you get is very mid-rangey, very compressed, and very thuddy and useful. So we tune them up pretty high, and through a PA system, they're incredible. Every sound engineer I work with live, it's their favorite kit. It's a bit weird to play because you do have to adapt. I'm used to the wooden drums, I'm used to the long sustain of a wooden drum, and the fact that they're a bit more subtle. With this drum kit, you have bass drums, you have snare drums, and you have tom-toms. And that's it, there's no in between. With the other kit, the other kits, you know, the Maple Star Classic and the Babinga kit and the Babinga Maple kit, there's a bass drum, snare and tom-toms, but they're much more integrated. I can make the toms kind of blend in better with the bass drums and the snare drums. So in a way it's a more musical kit to play, the wooden kit, and it feels nicer. But there's definitely something that feels good about this, but you kind of have to play differently because every time you know, I live on the tom-toms, you know, I do a lot of tom fills. I have to be a little bit more aware of every time I play the toms, they really stick out. So I got to be careful not to make it all start sounding like a drum solo. It's still music. So there is a bit of adapting to do. The other bit of adapting to do is that they're generally higher pitched. The wooden drums would be just a little bit lower. So I generally kind of have to just remind myself to go down, play the lower toms a little more, because it's just they cut too much. They're in danger of being a bit invasive to the music. So it's a fine line to tread, but it's a great kit, and it's a great through PA. And the gong drum, these big drums sound fine. There's nothing wrong with these. It's mainly as you get to the smaller drums, they just don't have the sustain and the cojones of the wooden drums.
Plus they look fantastic.
They do, and I have to be careful what I wear now, because people can see what I'm wearing through the drum kit. So
days of bottomless performing.
Yes,
over.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to be a little more tasty in my clothing attire. You know.